My name is Brian Oyugi. We are part of the Agri VUMA team, and today we are very excited to be collaborating with Nakuru County. So Agri VUMA is a data management enterprise solution that is meant to benefit smallholder farmers. So what we are doing is we are partnering with the county government, especially through the extension service infrastructure. So what we are doing is we are providing the extension service personnel with the data terminals so that when they go visiting the farmers, that data can be collected in real time and shared at county headquarters. What that will do is for the high-level decision makers, their decision will be driven by data. So we are pretty much excited. We are looking forward to that. So today we are gathered here to officially start the project. First we'll have a pilot of 25 wards in Nakuru County, and then we'll be able, after we validate the data from that, we'll be able to move. So for the solution, we are big with emerging technologies. So we have artificial intelligence, use of IoT infrastructures, and then machine learning, because one thing we realize with Africa is our data is constantly moving. So the only way we can create artificial intelligence for this age is if we have our own quality data sets. So that's what we want to do with agriculture, because one of the challenges that we have is data is seriously fragmented. It is siloed. We want that to be harnessed, coerced into one place so that analytics becomes easier, and the various data sets that we have can talk to each other. So we are complementing the service we are giving extension services with IoT infrastructure, where soil tests can be done and data shared so that there's an understanding. So for the field studies that we have done, we've realized that we have some parts of this country that mostly the soil is sort of alkaline. They use organic fertilizer that is alkaline. So what that does is it has an impact on the yields. So with the real-time IoT soil testing that will be done, we put ourselves in a position where now, based on where the farmer is and the mapping that has been done, we are able to recommend what the farmers should do. So basically, what we are saying and what we are doing is we want real-time data to flow, and we know the impact of that. We're in the fourth industrial revolution. It's an information age. It's a digital age. It's an age that is driven by huge compute power. So why not use that and impact big data in agriculture? I'm very proud. It has been done locally with my team because of access to knowledge and the various infrastructures that we have. And this is our first pilot and test that we are doing. So as we know with any pilot or any test phase, it is for us to understand and validate the data. That's why we are starting with the few samples of counties that we have. Once we verify we validate the data and we understand some of the challenges, then we can go full-blown. We've also done a memorandum of understanding with Homa Bay County. Her Excellency Governor Wanga was pretty much excited and she welcomed us, and so that is ongoing. Kakamega County is also in the pipeline, and also Nyandarua County. Here with me, it's a military-grade sort of industrial terminal, so it's waterproof, it's dust-proof, it's shock-proof. So what that does to us is we know the extension officers and where they work. So they're able to use it very, very well. The networks are quite stable in terms of sending in the data in real time. And then additionally to that, one of the things that we have done or engineered is we understand how challenging extension service work can be, and there's always pressure to reach as many farmers as possible. So there's we call it in the technology world near field communication, where when a farmer is seen, they're able to scan and we know that that farmer was seen. So from an aggregation point of view, we can know which areas are being covered effectively, and it can impact policy and decision making with regards to extension services. We are planning to sensitize, have workshops with extension service staff so that now they understand of its usage. We also have a component of data literacy. So where we get to a point where we start Kenyans and we as the people of Kenya, we start understanding why data is important, why quality data is important. As we move towards and into the information age, especially artificial intelligence and usage of such infrastructures, we need quality data. And quality data can only be gotten when people understand why that quality data needs to be collected. So additionally to the extension service, as the Agri VUMA enterprise, we are going to shadow the extension service personnel with data coordinators. So these data coordinators, what they will do is, we don't want a scenario where the extension service officer has gone for his work, yet he or she is constantly collecting data. So the data coordinators are to help support that, because this data is vital. It needs to be collected during interactions. As extension service officers do their work, with the fragmentation of network infrastructures we have today, sometimes you can find critical cases. For example, there is an outbreak of armyworms. So how that information is escalated upstream to whoever needs to make the decision can be difficult. So the terminal has a capability of, number one, you can do audio. You can collect audio information, you can collect visual information, you can also collect text information. So with such kind of information, the platform has capability of escalating. So it has an escalation level. If something is so severe, an alarm will be sent back to HQ, so that now the directors in charge can mobilize on what needs to be done. So those are some of the impact scenarios we want to see with the solution. Another equipment that we'll be giving the extension service officers is a power bank that is solar enabled, because we understand for the smallholder farmer, some of them are in very remote rural areas. So what we are saying is, as the extension officer is down in the field, if he runs out of power, even though the gadget has good capacity, they're able to charge conveniently. Additionally, one other critical infrastructure that I would like to mention is, as an enterprise, we run a big data lab. So what that does is, as the data comes in, we're able to monitor it. Additionally, there's a 24-hour cycle that is run with the enterprise, whereby if battery levels go beyond 30%, we're able to contact that extension officer and tell them to charge. Because the idea is, we want to collect data consistently without having any break. So we ensure that the terminal is online 24/7. We also ensure that it is supported the best way it can be. Yes. Yes. So additionally to that, since the data is secular, being collected by extension services and the data coordinators, we can do a comparative analysis between what the weatherman said vis-a-vis what has happened. You know, being in data management, once that data is correlated and we check what is happening vis-a-vis what is not happening, it puts us in a place where we can understand if actually the weatherman is having an impact on farmers in terms of what they are saying. So what that does is, additionally, it can also drive policy at a national level, where if there's an impetus or there's a drive of policy towards us updating our meteorological department, so that now support is to the farmers. Whatever they predict is actually what happens. And with climate change, we know this has become a challenge, but we also want to support in that front, because we will have primary data on what has happened vis-a-vis what was predicted to happen. So we begin with Nakuru County. We move to other counties. So a comparative analysis can be done for the whole country in terms of whether what was predicted to happen vis-a-vis what has happened. Yes. Yes. So before I spoke about soil testing. So we have an IoT device that is able to track that and relay that data in real time. So the other component that is very critical, I think it was also dear to Nakuru County, is for the farmers that are in the rural areas and the interiors. If you don't understand the yields that they have, it becomes very difficult to connect them with markets. So with Agri VUMA, we stand at a position where we can predictively say what yields the farmers will have, what they want to use for subsistence, and what they want to sell. Being in that position, it is easier to do aggregation for what they have, and transporters can collect it. The county government can source and find markets for the produce that they have. So that's another market linkage component that is very critical. Another aspect I will also mention with regards to market linkages, since we are tracking the whole agricultural life cycle, we stand at a position to do traceability. Where did, for example, sweet potatoes come from to the table, to whoever is consuming it? I think this is a very critical component, and since the system is able to pick what inputs are used, how that produce, or if it's livestock or those fisheries, what they fed on, and how it gets to the table and what it has. So traceability becomes very easy.
Kwa majina, mimi naitwa Leonard Bor, Mimi ndio waziri ambaye anasimamia mambo ya kilimo katika Nakuru County. Kama Nakuru County leo hii tuko na furaha as a Department of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Veterinary Services kwa sababu ya hii launch ya mambo ya Agri VUMA. Agri VUMA is one of our agri-techs ambaye they want to revolutionize mambo ya kilimo katika Nakuru County. Sisi kama Nakuru County tunajivunia kwamba mambo ya kilimo ndio tumepatia kipaumbele, na vile mambo ya extension services saa zingine hatujaweza maybe kufikia yule mkulima wa pale mashinani kabisa ama wale wakulima wetu wote katika Nakuru County. The digital platform ambaye tunai-launch leo tukitolewa na Agri VUMA ama Enigma ni kwamba itaenda kuhakikisha kwamba zile services mkulima anahitaji, ikiwa ni mkulima wa mimea, ikiwa ni mkulima wa mifugo, ikiwa ni mkulima wa samaki ama aquaculture, ni kwamba tunaweza kuwafikia so that waweze kuaccess zile information ambao wanahitaji kama agronomic practices, njia muhimu ya kuweza kufanya kilimo biashara. Sababu digitali sasa ndio njia ya kuweza kuhakikisha tunafanya mambo vizuri so that mambo ya information kama vile farm inputs, kama vile tunaweza kuwa link into markets, kama vile wanaweza kuaccess financial services, kama vile wanaweza pata ile real time information ama ile precision agriculture tunaweza wakulima wanaweza kupata so that waweze kuincrease mambo yao ya kilimo. Kwa hivyo hii ni nafasi mwafaka sisi kama kaunti ya Nakuru kuweza kushirikiana na Agri VUMA tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba tumeweza kufikia wakulima wetu katika Nakuru County. Ya muhimu kwetu kama idara ya kilimo ni kwamba tumeweza kuwafunza ama kuwapatia ile training ile necessary ndio waweze kuenda na wakati, kwa sababu vile tulifanya ukulima hapo awali sio vile tunafanya sasa. Sasa tuweze kuadapt the technologies, innovations ambazo zinakuja ndio tuweze kufanya delivery ama mode of delivery iweze kubadilika, wakulima wapate ile information wanahitaji. Kwa hivyo tunafanya mambo ya training na pia tuna focus on capacity building of our staff. Licha na hayo mambo ya training, kama idara tuko na ile call center ambaye tunahakikisha kwamba wakulima wanaweza pata ama kuuliza maswali ndio waweze kujibiwa so that they can be able to undertake their agricultural activities in the right way. Extension officers wale wote ambao tuko nao ni takriban karibu 300, na hao ndio wako spread in the 55 wards. Kwa hivyo kufikiwa na hii mradi ama hii program ya digital platform kufikia wadi 25 tayari, hiyo ni kama tumefikia nusu, na hii ni kuweza kushirikiana na zile platforms ambayo tayari tuko nayo kama ile ya Calro, kama ile zile nyinginezo Dichikao, zile zote ambayo tuko nazo. Kwa hivyo coverage tunaona mambo itakuwa sawa sawa. Wakulima wakiweza kupata the right information, najua hapo awali mkulima tu anaweza kuwa na apply fertilizer ama farm inputs kwa ile njia ya guesswork. But now the right information with the right analytics, they will be able to determine what type or the amount of input that they require, and this will now inform the amount of fertilizer or any other farm input that they require waweze kuipata.
Kwa majina naitwa Isabella Makori Mbogwa, MC wa Subukia na mwenyekiti kamati ya kilimo Nakuru County. Agri VUMA itatusaidia sana, especially kama bunge, juu extension officers wetu wengine wachache. Unapata mtu wakati amezembea kwenye kazi, ataketi kwenye yako, anaandika pengine data ya uongo, lakini sasa tukiwa na Agri VUMA at least tutapata actual need yenye wakulima wetu wanahitaji, na pia services zenye wakulima wetu wanapatiwa. Na hata pia kwa mambo yenye wakulima wetu wanauliza, hata wakati tunaenda public participation mambo na budget, tutaweza kujua kabisa manufaa na mambo yenye ambao wakulima wetu wanahitaji mashinani, to avoid kuwapatia vitu yenye hawataki. Juu Agri VUMA iko pia na kupima mchanga, tutajua kwa mfano fertilizer ambayo aina yenye wakulima wetu wanahitaji. Ndio for example kama eneo ya Subukia ama Kuresoi na maybe mchanga ni tofauti, tutajua ama ni ile fertilizer ambao wamezoea ama nyingine tofauti. So tutakuwa tukipatia wakulima fertilizer ambayo wanahitaji yenyewe. Nadhani kwa mwaliko wangu pia kukua hapa na County Assembly, nadhani kazi yetu ni kuwakilisha pia wananchi mashinani. Na pia ninauliza hiki kikundi pia kama kitengo cha Assembly pia especially kamati ya Agriculture wafunzwe pia ili mashinani watu waelewe nini inaendelea. Kwa hivyo tutakuwa tukishirikiana na wao. Of course, because when you use the right fertilizer and the right input, you get good output.